which was a mistake. I know that you like skinny girls and I want to get skinny for you. I told him that.
Welcome to More Than an Inmate's Girlfriend. I'm your host, Jay. And today we're talking relationships and the struggles of them. Man, they're not easy. And Marie's story is one that most of us will probably relate to. And that's a toxic relationship, power struggles, what to do and what not to do, the blocking, the unblocking, all the unknowns of dating and dating people with histories and traumas and pasts. I would say that's Marie's story. But also, it's one about insecurities and how that affects our relationships. And in Marie's case, it has to do with weight loss and changing ourselves to be what we think they want us to be. And how her story has shaped their relationship and how that weight loss has shaped the way he sees her. And how do we deal with that? And how do we process that? So there's a whole lot in this episode. Even the first time meeting in person, if you're a met while incarcerated individual, it's scary. So that is this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. We are still waiting on the catalogs, so they should be arriving soon, and then we can ship them out. If you have not hooked up your loved one yet, please go to www.morethanAninmatesGirlfriend.com and you can click buy it. Enter the code JANDAJ, JAEANDAJ, and it will make the catalog free. And you can enter the shipping address as the shipping address of your loved one who is incarcerated, so that this year they can purchase gifts for you and have them sent directly to your door. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram at podcast_prisongf, TikTok at More Than an Inmate's GF, and you can check out the website for everything, morethanAninmatesGirlfriend.com. If you have any questions, concerns, please go on there, send us a DM. AJ loves the DMs. She does all of the background, so all of the guest interactions and all of the social media, or a lot of it, and a whole lot of other stuff that's behind the scenes. So go say hi to AJ. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the episode with Marie and her loved one. Take care. Bye. Welcome, Marie.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I'm excited to get into this topic, and I think a lot of people are going to be very interested in hearing your opinion on this because I think it's very, very common. So thank you for being vulnerable with me and talking about it. So do you want to talk to me about how you guys first met? Start from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, sure. It was December of 2022, going into 2023, and I was visiting a friend, and I was watching Love After Lockup. And to be completely transparent with you, I had smoked some weed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was groovy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching it and I was laughing. It was funny to me. And at the time, I wasn't dealing with anybody. And
Right.
I said it would be cool to have a little jailhouse companion. I said the expectations are, well, I'm not really looking to get into anything with anybody serious because I had just got out of a long 6-year relationship in 2021 that was really bad.
Okay.
So I was just looking for companionship more so than anything.
Mm.
So after the show went off, I went on this website called Pentagon. I just Googled Pigeon Pen Pals, and I went on Pentagon, which is a Pennsylvania mailing service.
Okay.
And when I went on there, he was the absolute first person that popped up. I was like, oh, wow, he's cute.
Mm.
And I read his little profile, and what stuck with me was he said he was really into his religion, he was a father, and that he was looking for love, but also wanting to build foundation.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, he's not trying to jump into anything. He's trying to build something with someone in order to get to a relationship.
Right.
So it gave you an option to send an email, and I sent an email. And I forgot about it. I went back home, which is in California. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, but I went back home
Okay.
to California, and I totally forgot about it. But in the email, I put my name, my address. I didn't put my phone number.
Okay.
And beginning of 2023, I got home like January the 4th of 2023, and I forgot about it. And I didn't get anything from him until February of 2023. I got a letter in the mail.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a 4-page letter.
Wow.
And it had a picture in it. And he was like, yeah, I'm from a little town called Williamsport in Pennsylvania. Not knowing, he's probably thinking, oh, she has a California address. She's from California.
Right.
Not knowing I'm from Philly, which I knew everything about Williamsport. You know, I know what Williamsport is, how far is it from Philadelphia, and I know everything about it. And this is like a small little town, and not much goes on there.
Okay.
In Philly, we call it a drug town because only drug addicts and drug dealers live in Williamsport.
Okay, so it's not a huge surprise that he's from there since he's incarcerated.
Yeah, and it's not a huge surprise he ended up in the situation he ended up in because Williamsport is known for drug addicts and drug dealers.
Okay.
So everybody from Philly, if they want to go make some quick money, they go up to Williamsport because you'll make 3 times you'll make in Philadelphia.
Oh, geez. Okay.
But you'll get locked up faster in Williamsport, too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the correspondence started from there. I didn't write back immediately. And then I got another email from his cousin saying, my cousin wants your phone number. So I gave his cousin my phone number, email.
Yeah.
And then our first phone conversation was around the last week of February.
And what was that like?
The first call, I felt like I knew him forever.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt so comfortable talking to him. And then it hung up. And I was like, wow, he seems really cool and he's cute. I can't wait to talk to him again. And he didn't call back for 3 days.
Aww.
And then when he called back, he was like, hey, he was like, I could tell you really liked me by how we was vibing and how our conversation was going. He was like, I wanted to make you miss me a little bit. That's why I didn't call right back.
Smart.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, did you miss me? I was like, I don't even know you. So we had another good conversation. And he was like, I want to put you on a visiting list. I want to have a video visit. So I'm like, oh, God. I had some insecurities, and I was like, I don't want to get on a video visit. Right. So I didn't schedule the visit until, I'm going to say, about the second week of March.
Okay.
When we got on a video visit, I was back to Philly again.
Oh. Okay.
Over one of my friend's house. And I was like, oh, my God, I had to have my makeup done. Oh, I want to make sure I look okay. Yeah. And I was scared, and it felt like awkward. And he was like regular, but I was more concerned about my appearance. Yeah. I was like, do I look okay? Because we are 21 years apart. I'm 21 years older than him. So I was like going through different phases of insecurity.
Yeah.
And he seemed cool. We had a great visit. And then I said, well, do you want me to schedule another visit? He was like, oh, whenever you want. So I was like, next week? He was like, yeah, sure. Aww. So we visited again the following week. And then towards the end of the month, I thought it was cool for me to visit every week.
Yeah, right.
So I scheduled another visit towards the end of the month, and he canceled the visit, and I was livid. So I texted him, and I said, why did you cancel the visit? He was like, oh, I'll explain it to you. So he called, and he was like, I canceled the visit. I only get one visit a week, and I just wanted to leave open for my kids. And I want to make sure if they choose to visit that they can. And the best form of communication for us is a visit. And I said, so why didn't you tell me before we scheduled the visit that you didn't want to do the visit? Because then I wouldn't have scheduled it. So I start thinking,
The worst.
he probably had someone else lined up to visit,
Yeah.
and that's why he canceled me. Now, mind you, when we first started, there was no commitment. There was no,
Yeah.
oh, I'm your girlfriend, you're my boyfriend.
Yeah.
We said we were going to build a bond, and his specific words were this: three things can come out of it. He said, we can be business partners, we could be friends, or we can end up in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it really depends on how our bond goes and how everything is structured. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So when he canceled the visit, I had already started really liking him. So I'm like, yeah, he's probably canceled it because maybe someone else wanted to visit, and they probably popped in on some last minute type stuff,
Yeah.
and that's why he canceled the visit.
Yeah. And he didn't want to be honest because you weren't
And
official, so he couldn't say we're not in a relationship. He didn't want to upset you, probably. I would have assumed the same thing, just
right,
saying.
I could tell that he didn't want to hurt my feelings, and I could tell he didn't want to push me away,
Yeah.
but he did want to leave, I guess, options open. That was the beginning of my insecurities with him.
Okay.
As much as I tried to downplay my feelings, as time they got stronger and stronger. And then one day I told him, I'm in love with you. And he said, really? I said, yeah. And he never said it back. And I felt stupid.
Yeah.
And I always looked at myself as not being his ideal person because I like stalked his baby mom's page and I saw what they looked like.
Right.
And they didn't look like me. I was overweight. I was older than him. I didn't fit the aesthetic. I felt like I didn't look like a black Barbie.
Right.
I was a middle-aged woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't wear makeup, wear heels.
Yeah. You didn't
I
put a
looked
lot of
like
into your
a
appearance.
pants. I didn't. In that relationship that I was in, that was a 6-year relationship, ended badly in 2021. My ex took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
He ruined my self-esteem. He beat me down physically, mentally, emotionally. So I still was recovering from that relationship.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Prior to the ex, I was a girly girl.
Okay.
And then the ex took so much out of me that I just went into being dumpy looking, just
Yeah.
plain Jane. So when I saw Corey's exes, I'm like, oh, wow, there's no comparison.
Right.
They're young, they're beautiful, they're thin. And when I say thin, they're like olive oil thin. Popeye's girlfriend thin. Yeah, yeah. So they were thin, and I was big. And I said, yeah, no. And then when I talked to his cousin one day, and his cousin was like, send me some pictures and I'll send them to him, because I didn't have the ability to send pictures just yet. And this was before he and I talked.
Right.
And his cousin was like, oh, when he got the pictures. And I said, what's the matter? I said, what, you don't like big girls? He was like, no, not really.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow. That stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And Tori would say he didn't have a type, but he clearly did.
Right.
And his cousin said it because it was the truth.
Right.
And I appreciated the cousin's honesty.
But I could
Yeah.
totally see how this whole situation would make you increase your insecurities, because you're coming out of this relationship that's totally killed you. You're not feeling yourself. You're not feeling pretty. And then these little statements, they're just sitting there constantly in the back of your mind. So that really doesn't help. I could see that.
Yeah. And I used to ask him, when can I visit you in person? He's like, oh, we'll build up to it.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, he doesn't want me to come up here because he's more of a for show type person.
Right. And I don't know about you, but for me, I was also insecure going to visit him, my husband, for the first time, because I was just like, I don't know how other people are going to look at me. Like, maybe he's really into you, but he doesn't want the world to know that he's really into you.
I think he also struggled with that too. Like, I don't think he wanted to really like me, but because I'm such a likable person,
Yeah.
it was hard for him not to like me.
Yeah.
And as time went on, he just started getting very strange. To sum it up, in November of 2023, he blocked me for 29 days.
Blocked you.
No warning, no nothing. And in September, that was the first time we had contact. And it's crazy because the day before he blocked me, we had contact.
Oh.
Yeah, and then he blocked me the next day. I never forget. 'Cause normally he would text me in the morning, good morning, what's going on today? So I'm like, oh, wow, he didn't text me yet. And it's 11 o'clock here, so it's later there. He hasn't texted me yet. So I went on to text him, and it said this was blocked.
Whoa.
I almost lost my mind.
Yeah.
By this time, I was madly in love with this man. I felt intimately connected to him. So I called the cousin, not the boy cousin, the girl cousin.
Okay.
I said, he blocked me. Can you tell him to unblock me, please?
Yeah.
She said, if he called back, I'll let him know. And I said, okay, thank you. So then
Wow.
I called the prison, and I gave him his name, and I talked to the person that actually handles the kiosk. And I said, this inmate, I can't message him. And she said, oh, yeah, he blocked you at 211.
Wow.
I said, oh, my God. My heart fell in my toes. I cried, I think, for like 3 days straight. Because I didn't understand what happened.
Yeah.
No call, no nothing. Of course, me coming out of that bad relationship, everything was self-blame.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was taught to do. And I absorbed the responsibility when it wasn't mine to absorb. And I start telling myself that every day. He's done with you. Let it go, move on. Let it go, move on. And my friend, she said, oh, he's going to unblock you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I was so hurt.
Yeah. It's almost worse than when you're dating in person because there's nothing wrong. There's no sign.
Oh,
How do you even process something like that? That's so hard.
I couldn't think. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I couldn't wrap my head around what the hell did I do?
Yeah.
But again, I was trained to think that way from the previous relationship. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, did I do something? Still telling myself every day, you gotta let go. Gotta let go. Gotta let go. And I started to just get in the mindset.
Wow. Okay.
I started self-talk. I started telling myself every day, you might not talk to him again. This might be it for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sitting on a couch one evening, and I was watching a TV show, and I looked, and the phone was ringing. I said his name, and I answered on the second ring. And he was like, what's up? And I was like, why you blocked me? He was like, I don't know. It was impulse. And I'm like, impulse? You block somebody out of impulse? He was like, yeah, I do impulsive stuff sometimes. I said, oh, yeah? You blocked me out of impulse.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah. And I said, okay. And he was like, I don't have no expectations for you. And I want you to know that we're friends. And I'm like, okay, I'm not forcing you into anything. I'm not telling you to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's cool. But impulse?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it right now. I said, well, I do. Because you don't do people like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I won't do it no more. And I said, okay. So conversation went well. After that, we started back talking every day, and we were good again. Everything went back to normal. It was just like the block never happened.
And were you being intimate on the phone?
Again, yep.
Yeah. And
The
you
new
forgave
program.
him? You just clean slated it?
Yep,
Wow.
I
Okay.
sure did.
Okay.
And which I shouldn't have. In retrospect, I shouldn't have.
Why?
Because it led up to a series of more blocks. And once somebody feels like they could get away with something one time,
Yeah.
they'll do it again.
Yeah.
That's just like somebody that robs a bank. They get away with robbing the bank the first time, they'll do it again. They may get a little bit more creative with it,
Yeah.
but they'll definitely do it again.
Yeah. You're setting the tone of how you can be treated.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I definitely set the tone, and it wasn't a good tone because it just led up to blocking, more disagreements. I'm not even going to say arguments, more disagreements.
Okay.
It led up to more just, I can do what I want to do and get away with it
Right.
because she let me.
Yeah. When was the next block?
And February of 2024.
Okay. And how long was that?
So he got transferred, but the app said he's no longer available or he's no longer at this facility or something like that. I forget exactly how it was worded. I was like, oh, wow. So I knew he got transferred, and we talked about it. He said, I'm not going to be able to talk to you for a couple of weeks because I'm going to have to go through the processes of going in jail and so forth and so on. And I was like, yeah, I know. February the 8th of 2024 was the first time he was able to call from the new jail. And the conversation started off pretty good. And it was like, okay, how's everybody? Okay, cool. I said the B word, your cousin is a B, meaning a female.
Mm-hmm.
Said, yeah. And I said, you had a bitch on my phone? And I hung up. And he didn't call back till April or May. And I wrote him, I apologized. I wrote him paper letters. He didn't have Connect Network set up yet.
Mm.
I wrote him on there when it was set up. And I wrote. And he didn't respond.
Oh my gosh.
And then he blocked it. And then he unblocked it. And then I wrote again. He didn't respond. He didn't respond to me until May.
Wow.
And I was speaking February.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time. What were you
It's
thinking?
a very long time. I didn't know what to think. That time I really thought it was done. But at that time I didn't let go. Like, first time I was more like, okay, let me let go.
Oh, really?
And I was mentally preparing myself to let go. The second time, I didn't let go.
Because it's almost because you knew the first time he came back, so you knew he was going to come back eventually. It was just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought too.
And everybody was like, how can he say he cares?
Yeah.
He can go 3 months without talking to you, without checking on you, without seeing how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that started bothering me too. Because people was like, listen, this guy don't care. Because if he did, he wouldn't go these many months without talking to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, maybe he's upset because I wrote him after I hung up on him. But before I wrote him apology letters, I wrote him horrible letters. I wrote him an 8-page letter. I called him every name in the book. I told him he could suck 10 dicks and choke. I said,
tell us how you really feel.
Yep, I said you could choke on a choo-choo.
You're very nice.
Yeah, I said, I can't stand you. You're a master manipulator. I called him a narcissist. I said he was a horrible person. I said he can burn in hell.
Wow.
I said really mean things. And that's not even the worst thing.
Right.
That was like the nice thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So why did he call?
I don't know.
What did he say?
He called in May. He actually wrote me in May. Mm-hmm. After I wrote those mean letters, I did come back and apologize.
Okay.
For saying those horrible things.
Yeah.
And I did say I was working with my emotions. I should have never said those things to you. They were horrible. Please forgive me for being so harsh.
Yeah. And
he said, I never called you anything but your name. I never disrespected you. I never talked down to you. And you said some really bad things to me.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, I know. And he was like, no one never talked to me like that.
Wow.
Never. And he said, you have a very foul mouth. And I know I do
Yeah.
because I learned, and just in life, that my mouth was my defense mechanism.
Yeah. It's exactly what I was thinking as you were
And
saying that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned how to tear a person down with words
Yeah.
where I can build them up. I learned that it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what to say to him. I knew he was going to be livid.
Yeah.
So he kind of eased back into talking to me. He didn't just call me right away. He did send a couple text messages first. And then he was like, if I talk to you again, are you going to hang up on me again? Are you going to say those horrible things to me again?
Right.
And I said,
Yeah.
no, I will never disrespect you like that again.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, I'm going to call. But then it was like another month. Then he eventually called. And it was just like riding a bike. It was just the same as
Yeah.
before, regular scheduled program again. And then it was like the calls weren't that often. The texts weren't coming as often. It was pretty much no calls. Texts were maybe once every 2 weeks.
You're kind of
I was
backtracking your relationship.
meaning backtracking. It was like worse than it ever was. It was like bad
Yeah. But
because
it was just like tension, probably, right? Like it wasn't
yeah,
safe
it was a
anymore.
lot of tension. Yeah, the trust wasn't there, and we felt totally disrespected. And I get it, but guess what? I felt totally disrespected too.
Yeah. It was both sides.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, I wasn't supposed to speak on it, feel any type of way. What was I not supposed to own my feelings? Was I not supposed to have emotions?
Yeah.
I wanted to feel heard. I wanted to feel respected, and I didn't at points in time. So that tongue lashing, it was a long time coming. hmm It was a build up from the very first block.
Mm-hmm.
It was a build up from the very first cancel visit. It was a build up.
Yeah. You just kept letting it go and sacrificing your own sanity and happiness because you were so in love with him that you just wanted
Mhm.
any part
Mhm.
of him, but you were sacrificing yourself. So eventually it just blew up.
Mhm. Yeah. I can probably count on one hand how many times we talked on the phone in 2024.
And then how did you rebuild that? Question one, but also question two, do you think that he had another woman in that at that time?
Several.
Several. Yeah.
I believe it was more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how did you get back?
So like I said, 2024 was touch and go thing. Superficial type stuff. It wasn't like how it was. It wasn't like how it was before.
Yeah.
But it was a gift and a curse because I was going through a lot of different transitions in 2024. And during 2024 is when I started rebuilding myself,
Mm-hmm.
started to put my pieces back together from that bad relationship, from him hurting my feelings. So 2024, it was rough when it came down to he and I's communication, but I started really learning who I am and starting to love who I am.
And heal.
Yeah, it wasn't the finish, and I'm still not finished,
Yeah.
but it was the start. And I started losing weight, and I started being more intentional about my appearance. I started getting my makeup done. I started buying clothes because I was losing weight. I started spending a lot more time cultivating myself, still trying to hold on to him, still not looking for anybody.
Right.
I'm just learning that I still love him, but I have to love myself because I told him, which was a mistake. I know that you like skinny girls and I want to get skinny for you.
Oh.
I told him that. And he
Okay.
probably thought I was just saying stuff, but I really
Did.
started losing weight to get his attention back.
That was okay.
That was the original reason why I started losing weight. I already had lost a lot of weight
Yeah.
prior to, because I actually had weight loss surgery in 2022, but
Oh, okay.
I was at a standstill.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gaining any more weight. I wasn't losing any more weight. So I
Mm-hmm.
had went from 343 to 260. When I met him, I weighed 260 still.
Right.
So during a period of time when he and I wasn't communicating a lot, I started being more mindful of what I ate, started exercising a little bit more than at all. But during the period of 2024, I lost 100 pounds, and we didn't have a visit until December of 2024. He took me off the list when we weren't speaking early 2024. He put me back on the visiting list, and he was like, I want to get you on a visit, but he wanted to get me on a visit for his own personal sexual reasons. So I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be his first time seeing me.
Yeah.
So when he seen me on the visit, he was like, wow.
What is going on? Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I said, you like it? He was like, yeah, you look good. And he was like, why didn't you tell me you were on a weight loss journey?
Yeah.
We weren't really talking. And he was like, you look really good. He was just so shocked.
Yeah.
And that kind of jump started his attention. We had another argument after the visit, and he took me back off the list again. And then he didn't put me back on the list until June of 2025. So when he seen me again in June of 2025, and I'm kind of glad I didn't see him from December 2024 until June of 2025, even though we were talking on the phone and stuff, and we were texting again. When he seen me, I had lost even more weight. So it was like I lost another 100 pounds.
Jeez. That's
And he was
crazy.
like, how are you losing this weight?
Yeah. This is incredible.
And I was like, does it look bad? Insecurity.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you look really good. You look really good. And we started communicating more. Just out the clear blue, he had called me one day, and he got his friend to text me and said, I want her to pop on a visit and give her the meeting code, and I got on a visit. And it was from that point, he's been really just on me.
Hey, it's AJ from More Than an Inmate's Girlfriend podcast. Our new More Than an Inmate's gift catalog is out, and it's free for a limited time to send to your loved one. We know that just because someone is incarcerated doesn't mean they don't want to make their person feel special, but sometimes they don't have a way to do it. That's what this catalog is for. Visit morethananinmatesgirlfriend.com and enter the code JANDAJ. That's JAEANDAJ to send the catalog today. Because being incarcerated doesn't mean they stop wanting to show effort. Sometimes they just need help doing it.
We did have another argument again.
Okay.
And he took me off his visiting list back in October after I visited in person. And then he put me back on again.
Oh my God.
And I know, I get it. That's his form of control. He can only control certain things.
Right.
So he tries to control what he can. So now that he's like all over me,
Yeah.
I don't answer the phone when I don't feel like it. I call and I just don't answer.
Why do you think you're doing that?
Because I kind of want to punish him for treating me bad when he did.
Right.
And now the roles kind of reversed a little bit. And how he's like, you don't even text me anymore on the app. You used to text me long text messages. You used to text me little freaky text messages. You don't even text me anymore. You send one sentence text like, I miss you, or something like that. And he was like, I'm no longer a priority to you anymore. You don't answer your phone anymore. He was like, I remember a time when you would answer your phone on the first ring. You would go days without answering your phone. And I said, yeah, well, this isn't the beginning anymore. And he's like, you changed. And I said, you think I changed? He said, yeah. And I know you're not answering your phone on purpose. I said, remember when you had blocked me and you wouldn't respond to me? He's like, so is that why you're doing this? Because of Ben? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, even though it is. I guess I'm still turning out the hurt that he put me through when he put me through it. So, I mean, I'm human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I just want him to feel like how I felt.
Do
You know, what about when you didn't call me for months? Now, if I don't answer my phone for 3 days straight, and then I finally answer, what were you doing? Where was you at?
Yeah, my husband would kill me. I'd be over.
No. Yeah.
There'd be no going back. 3 days. That's crazy. Do you think the weight loss is what changed his perception of you?
Oh, yeah.
And how does
Definitely.
that feel?
Good and bad.
Does that hurt?
It feels good because now I have the upper hand.
Right.
It feels bad because, and I mentioned that to him in a text I sent him not too long ago. I said, I know why you're changed now. I know why you wanted me to visit, and I know why you're changing. I said, and you and I both know. I don't have to say it, but he had said something about that, so he knew exactly what I meant, because he's not stupid by a long shot. He's very smart. And it makes me feel like now I fit your aesthetic. Now I look the part.
Yeah.
Now you're all over me. I never was ugly, but I wasn't small.
Yeah.
And I was very plain Jane. And even in the pictures I used to send him back then, I didn't dress how I dress now.
Yeah.
I didn't look how I look now. And now I look the part.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're paying me tons of attention now, you know?
That you want.
He calls every day now, sometimes 2-3 times a day.
And are you in a relationship officially?
We're now, and I'm telling him, you're not my man. And he doesn't like when I say that. I told him the other day something like, well, if I decide to move on and be with someone else, don't be surprised if I have me a new man by the time you come home. He had a fit, and he called me. He's like, you disrespected me by saying that. And it's like he wants me to be committed to him, but he doesn't want to give me a title. But I know all the girls that I guess was in his life, I think they all fell off.
Oh, okay.
And I think he's afraid that I'm going to fall off too. Even though that's not my intent, I'm making him feel that way. Again, I'm not answering the phone like I used to. He says I'm changing. He says I want to be a priority in your life again.
Do you trust that when he comes home, he would be faithful?
I'm not even anticipating that from him. I told him, you can do what you want to do when you come home. And I don't think he liked when I said that to him.
I don't think so either. So what's your game plan here?
When we talk, we always talk about him coming home.
Okay.
And we talk about the things we're going to do when he comes home. So he's like, what is your plans for when I come home? And I said, well, I want us to jump out of an airplane together. I want us to do all of these different things. He said, well, for the first 2 weeks, I want us to spend a lot of time with each other. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not giving him the old me, and he notices it. And he's not feeling it at all. And now he is all over me. And he said, I changed. And I said, you think I changed? He said, yeah, you definitely did. And I know what he meant by that. He's meaning I changed with the weight loss.
Yeah. But you also changed the way you treat him.
I changed the way I treat him, definitely. I don't make him feel like a priority anymore. There was a time where I don't care where I was at. I don't care what I was doing. I would answer that phone.
Yeah, I'm like that now.
I could be in the middle of a colonoscopy. I would answer the phone. I didn't care who I was around. I didn't care who heard our conversation. I would answer the phone. And I can be sitting here doing absolutely nothing. I could be watching a movie, and I'll look at my phone, and I'll see him calling, and I'll decline it. And then he'll call back, and I'll decline it. And then he'll call the next day, and I'll decline it. And it may sound sick, but I'll laugh because I feel like I'm getting him back for how he treated me. But I still do love him. I do believe he does love me, but I think he's afraid to say it because he says every time I tell somebody I love him, I lose him.
When he first saw you for the first time in person.
When I went up there October.
Yeah. How'd he look at you?
Oh my God. When I first stood at the door, before they opened the door up, and he saw me through the glass, and I saw him through the glass, and he was sitting right there where the glass was, so I saw him. He was in the back row. He looked at me like he saw a ghost. His eyes were so big, and he was fixated.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't go off of me.
Yeah.
So when he saw me,
you could see how much he loved you.
It was the best hour and a half. Normally he's very cocky, very arrogant, because he knows he's a nice-looking guy. And,
are you going to forgive him?
Yeah.
At some point? Do you plan on it?
Well, we're talking.
And hopefully it'll be better?
I don't know, because I don't like the fact that I'm playing these games with him.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's necessary until I feel like it's not necessary. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. You're not worried about losing him?
Nope.
No.
You know?
Wow.
It seems like the more I act like how I'm acting, the more he's drawn to me.
He likes the chase.
Yeah. Before, I was always available. Now, the energy is not there anymore, or at least he doesn't think it is. But it is, but he doesn't know it.
You're just playing the long game.
So the less I pay him attention, the more he pays me attention. I like the fact that I feel like I have the upper hand there.
You do, yeah. You definitely do.
And I haven't been in this position ever.
Right. So you're enjoying it a little bit.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels good.
I am.
To be chased.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I want to talk a little bit about the whole intimacy thing, because I know that you're pretty conservative when it comes to that stuff.
You see, it was different when it was just the phone.
Okay.
So now it's like, okay, well, now that I can get you on a video, we can do X, Y, Z on the video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because they are recorded. Nobody's going to know. And I said, how do you know? You've done it before?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. But I'm sure. Come on, just stop.
Just do it.
This is up.
But you even took a while, because you guys started talking February, March, and then you only started having phone sex and all that in September. Was it because you were uncomfortable with it, or just didn't come up?
We were having a conversation about threesomes.
Oh, okay.
One day. And he asked me, have I ever had one? And I told him no. I said, I had a fake one, if that's what you want to call it. I said, but it didn't end well.
Okay.
And it was with my ex-husband. I got upset and I beat her up. And that was the end of that.
Right.
So I asked him, has he ever had one? He was like, of course. And I said, how did it go? He said it went well. And then he started talking about phone sex from that point. And he was like, could we have phone sex? And I was like, sure. And he was like, oh, so I can call later. And that was the beginning of that. And that was September 2023.
Okay.
I was intrigued because even though I loved him and I knew I was in love with him, we didn't cross that threshold yet.
Okay. That makes sense. And then it was just with the video that you started getting more uncomfortable with the idea.
Yeah, and especially when I started losing the weight.
Yeah.
Well, when I lost the weight and he saw, he was like, I want you to pretty much take off your clothes and do this and do that. And he had all these different demands that he wanted. And when he wants something and if he doesn't get it, he like has a fit.
Right. So that's been a struggle for you guys.
Yeah, because I still haven't taken off my clothes on a video visit to him.
Right.
But he asked me, because I sent him pictures of me in like lingerie or bikini. So I did that.
And do you feel that you're communicating properly your needs and stuff and working around it?
Well, he said, when it comes down to you,
Yeah.
There is no boundaries. You can't draw boundaries with me.
Okay.
Basically, every part of you belongs to me.
Yeah.
You can't have boundaries. So that's why when I told him by the time he come home, I'll have a new man, he got so upset. Couldn't even talk. He couldn't get his words out of his mouth. But I only do that intimacy stuff for him. Technically, I'm not getting any pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to.
I feel you on it.
I don't have any desire to be intimate with another man, and I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not sexually attracted to another man. So it's really easy for me. And I told him I want both of us to be our first in years.
Yeah.
And I want it to be special. And he was like, I want the same thing. I don't know where it's going to go. I do know that he is emotionally attached to me as I am him. Even though I don't act like it anymore, I am very emotionally attached to him. And I'm starting to see that he's emotionally attached to me. I don't know if it has been there and it just enhanced with the weight loss.
Yeah.
I used to tell him all the time, you don't really care about me. And he was like, the worst part about everything is the fact that you really don't think I care about you.
Aww.
One time I told him I love him on a text, and he said, we have forever love. He never said, I love you back. He's never said it, ever.
I think my biggest question, and the last question really to wrap this up, is there's a lot of people that are probably in similar situations to you and or are on this journey earlier, like circa 2023, right? The first time he blocked you, when everything just broke. Is there anything that you wish you had done differently that you could share kind of insight for other people?
Just demand your respect. Don't think because a person is incarcerated that they need you.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of women and men get in their heads, oh, they need me because they're incarcerated. Oh, I'm the only person they had because they're incarcerated.
Yeah.
Or I'm the end all be all because he's incarcerated or because she's incarcerated. Understand that people that are incarcerated have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah.
And during that time, just like they found you, they can find 5 more of you.
Right.
And most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, because there are some men that are faithful that are incarcerated. Most of the time, if there's no real solid commitment like it was in my case,
Yeah.
just know that there are other people. It just depends on how important you are to that person, whether you're priority. Like I knew in the beginning I was a priority because we were getting to know each other. But once he saw that I was so into him, then it was like, okay, I got her now and I can flash back a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't tolerate disrespect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wish in the beginning I would have showed more self-care, showed more self-confidence, and not show my insecurity so early on, because I feel like he played off of him.
Yeah. I agree
And
with
I
that.
think that's why it's so hard for him to digest this person that I have become now.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
That's a lot.
I can't tell you where it's going to go.
I'm so attached to this story. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, it may end up being the greatest love story of all time. And a little sidebar, before I met him, I actually had a dream about him before I met him.
No.
Before I met him, yeah. And he looked the same way. And it was crazy. It was a warning for me to not deal with him.
Oh,
The
you
dream
think?
was like a warning. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, I had a dream about him. And then not too long after that, that's when I saw him on that app. And he looked the same way. Same white poofy, same face, same complexion, same everything. But when I had the dream about him, we were on a video visit, and he was saying to me, please don't leave me. I need you. Please, please, please. And I didn't say anything during the visit. I was quiet, but I was so just fed up.
Oh.
I was so fed up. I felt that within me, the fed upness.
Interesting.
I felt like I'm over this. you know. And when I was looking at him on the visit, and I looked at his face, and he looked so broken, and he was begging, and he never begs because he's very arrogant and cocky, and he was begging, and he was like, please don't leave me, please. And only thing I felt was
I have chills.
But I stayed. I didn't leave the visit in my dream, or I didn't even say anything. I was just like looking at him and listening to him. But I just remembered that overwhelming feeling of, I'm just tired.
Wow.
And then I met him.
Wow.
And I don't know if it was a message of this is what was to come.
Yeah.
It's been up and down. I'm not going to say since the very beginning, but
pretty close.
Yeah.
That's wild.
When I saw him on that app, I'm like, oh my God, this is the same guy. And then he was the first person that came up.
Oh my God.
So
I'm so curious.
It was wild.
There's a reason. Wild. I think it's probably that there's a reason he was supposed to be in your life. I don't know if it's because it helped with your weight loss. It helped you on your healing journey. It helped you realize that what you want and what you don't want, and what respect is and what it isn't. Like, you learned so much in this relationship that regardless of how it ends, I wonder if he has that security, that safety and security, and feels it, and then took it for granted. And then when you pulled back, now he's trying to chase it because he's like, wait a minute, this was my safety blanket. This was the person that was going to be there through thick and thin.
I ghosted her for months.
Yeah.
She still was there.
Yeah. Because oftentimes we test.
Now she's pulling back.
Yeah. Oftentimes we test the relationships, even not on purpose. It's just we want to see if that person's actually going to stick around when...
Another friend of mine said to me, she said, you know what, he might have pulled back because he felt himself getting too attached
to you. Could be too, yeah.
It could be a little bit of both, but I do believe he has strong feelings for me, and I think that's another reason why, after I said the horrible things I said to him, any man probably would have been like, oh, I'm done with her.
Yeah.
She disrespected me to the utmost.
Yeah.
So he's guarding himself, and I get it.
Yeah. Which you are
I
too.
am too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, I hope you keep us updated on what happens. I hope you figure it out. Real people are going to be so curious about what happens with you guys.
I definitely will. It may end up being the best love story ever.
Yeah. That would be
awesome.
awesome.
Honest with you, I am still optimistic.
Yeah.
I just think we had to get through this, and the fact that I did have that dream.
That's crazy.
It kind of holds me on to it.
Yeah. He was in your life for a reason, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity to tell my story.
We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.